In today's Hardcore Minecraft video, we're going to be finishing off this beast of a building here as we finish the inside of it, as well as some other stuff so I don't go completely crazy. My name's Smallishbeans and I'm terrible at Hardcore Minecraft, so welcome back to Hardcore Minecraft. So far, we've survived 458 Minecraft days and 83 real-life hours, which is starting to get into the territory of, is that cool or is that kind of sad that you have no life? Before we do anything though today, we really have to fix up our tools and armor. Oh dear. Look at these elytra. They're basically falling apart. Very muddy. I'm going to ignore you and do some farming. I hope that's okay. Glad you agree. Want to see a magic trick? Watch this magical transition. Whoa, farms. And here's another magic trick. Watching all I farm disappear instantly. I really need a proper way to get emeralds. But first, I need somewhere to store them. Which gets us onto our project today. Look at this thing we built last time. It's magnificent. It's beautiful. Surely it looks the same on the inside, right? Yeah, no, it is completely empty in here, apart from, ooh, a copper block. I recently got told that people will only subscribe if you do the interior. Well, luckily we're doing the interior today, so make sure to subscribe. Help prove my theory correct. Now, so far, I've built a lot of buildings on this series, and I've decorated the inside of every single one of them. Yes, some of them are very basic like this, but some have some more depth to them like our house here. And before you clever clocks say, Joel, the building here doesn't have an interior. Yes, I know, but that's because this is an interior-exterior. All the villages are on the outside. There's no need for an interior. It doesn't count, okay? And it kind of has a little interior. I made these chests room here, which I never use. I don't know why I did this. But the chest room I will use will be the one we're going to build in here. And so far, every episode I've done has been lots of time lapses. Today, no. We're going to walk through this interior. Join me in our interior adventure, or as I like to call it, struggling with Joel, because Joel hates interiors and he really doesn't want to do this, but he has to because it'll look really pretty in the end. Yes, I know the title could use some work. But first, we're approaching day 500 and we still don't have full netherite armor. That's embarrassing. And thanks to the gunpowder farm we built, we now can use TNT to try and collect some ancient debris. I'm sure using TNT in a hardcore world will go perfectly smoothly. Please don't cut to my death right now, please. So I went off to collect some sand and managed to collect just over 3 stacks of TNT. I then head deep into the nether and started placing the TNT, which was quite scary. Nervous, but let's do it. Yes, that's the good stuff, baby. Gimme, gimme. A decent first haul, but let's set off more. Round 2, baby. Let's go. I don't know why I tried to save that button. Big bang bang. Yes. Holy moly, it's a good job I spotted that one, as look, it's just completely covered in lava. There's also one there, but let me fix this. Epic reveal music. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. This tunnel was way more successful, netting us a total of 25 ancient debris, although I did use some beds at the end. 25 beauties. Let's put these in here to smelt. 6 netherite ingots, baby. Let's do our helmet, our boots, our shovel, our hoe, our pickaxe, and our sword. Oh my gosh, that's everything. We are kitted out. Yes. Now our tools are still quite damaged, but I think we're fine for what we need. And the first thing we're going to start off with is the floor in here. However, I love long material gathering montages, so we're going to gather a lot of stuff. Some of it we'll save for later. So off we set into the sunset to the nearby mangrove biome. When I say nearby, it's about 5,000 blocks away, but luckily it's going to be worth our while as we're getting a lot of mangrove wood here. We also went past this desert to collect some sand and also this desert temple. I came by this temple a long time ago and I didn't loot it because I was scared. But you know what? I'm not scared anymore. I've got my netherite armor on. I can't see any mobs in here. Give me the goodies. Golden apple. More golden apples. More golden apples. Anyway, back to gathering materials. I should really make a moss farm at some point, but for now, this will have to do. I also gathered some cactus from our farm to make some concrete powder, and then I had to get some shroom lights, and I love the sound they make, so listen to this. Oh, that glorious squelching makes me happy. Anyway, we went and got some other materials which don't sound as fun, like granite and dark oak wood, and then some terracotta. Now this is quite a big room, and it has lots of weird sort of angles jutting out of it from the way we built this. So what I'm going to do is ignore all those angles and focus on the main theme, which was hexagons. And from all these materials here, you can see we've gathered a lot of mangrove, as that's going to be the colour of our floor. So here you can see the sort of hexagon shape we have, although it does look a bit weird at the moment, and don't look at the entrance. Next up, we're going to be using some stripped mangrove this time to make a smaller hexagon in the middle. And of course, I forgot the dirt I needed to complete this. Luckily, I have some lying around in my old storage room here. There we go, a mini hexagon. Unfortunately, that's as small as we can get, as the smaller you go, it just sort of starts to look like a bit of a circle. Next up, we're going to get some granite, some red terracotta, some shroom light, some mangrove trapdoors, and some red glazed terracotta. Sticking on the red theme at the moment. As you've probably noticed, it's quite dark in here, and the floor will have mobs spawning on it. But torches look ugly. So I'm going to use shroom lights in the floor to bring some light in here. And to make it look better, I'm going to surround them in red glazed terracotta and then plop a mangrove trapdoor down. Now all we have to do is repeat this. I've also been trying to experiment recently and use weirder blocks like netherrack, but luckily it fits in well with what we've got going here. And we can use the hexagon pattern to link up everything here. I'm then going to surround the netherrack with granite, as it's got that sort of pinky red texture to it. And we've done it on the inside of the hexagon and the outside of the hexagon. And I've calculated it precisely. And you can kind of see the hexagon patterns forming. So let's keep it going with some more stripped mangrove. Of course I had to place it upwards. What a pain. But after placing a full circle of dirt around, it made things a lot easier. And luckily, that's all the mangrove stripped wood placed. We're going to leave the center there, but we're going to fill in the rest of stuff with some mangrove planks. And surely I did my calculations correctly. Somehow I've vastly got the numbers wrong and not got enough mangrove planks. Thankfully, I didn't check my chest earlier, and it looks like we can complete it. Lovely. All done. For this central hexagon, however, I want to do things a little bit differently. And we're going to start by filling in the whole underlayer with dirt. In the center, we're going to just place a stripped mangrove log, surround it with some mangrove planks, and once again use some shroom lights to light it up, and some mangrove trapdoors. Then finish off the final bits of red with some red concrete powder, and once again some netherrack. And then finally we're going to switch the colors up a little bit and use a lot of the greens that we used in the outside and put them to work on the inside, using a load of different textures and stuff along the way. And there you have it, the floor. I know it's looking a little bit empty right now, but there will be things in this central section. But first and foremost, this is a chest room, and I've not got any chests made. And that's because there's space in here for 304 double chests. And if we do some quick maths here, that's 608 individual chests, aka 4,864 planks, aka 1,216 logs cut, aka 19 stacks of logs. I know chopping wood is more fun with Joel Smallishbeans, but that's a lot of wood. Luckily we have a decent amount of spruce trees here, although I still think this is probably not going to be enough. Let's see how far our axe gets us. Turns out I'm terrible at judging stuff, and we actually had plenty of trees. I only actually had to cut down about half of them, and we had 19 stacks of wood. I also replanted the saplings. Thank goodness for spruce trees. Without them, that would have taken a long, long time. Let's convert these 19 stacks of logs into chests and watch our hard work disappear. Kind of. I just made 64 crafting tables. No! Well, we'll keep these in our ender chest. We'll never run out in the future. But there we go, 9.5 stacks of chests. These things can hold so many materials. But first, we're not going to leave the walls like this. We're going to add an extra layer inside here for the walls. And this time we're using more greens, as well as some dark oak. Now, my original plan was to place the wall along here. However, that meant I'd have to do it like this. So I've left all these big gaps here, which are going to spawn mobs in them. So first things first, we're going to have to light all of these up with torches. Then we're going to get placing our wall, and it's going to be a very simple pattern. We're going to have a layer of green terracotta, 2 layers of green concrete powder, 2 layers of moss, another 2 layers of green concrete powder, and then finally another layer of green terracotta. However, in the corners, we're going to add some dark oak wood and make some pillars. So we got placing in all of this concrete powder. Then, somehow in the time I've been laying this level, a creeper has spawned. So I'm kind of trapped up here at the moment, but we'll keep going. And we managed to finish off the rest of the walls with no problems whatsoever. We also added in some smaller pillars for a little bit of extra detail. And then link all these pillars up with some slabs. It's very dark up here though, so we're going to add some shroom lights around. And then cover them up with some trapdoors and place a mud brick wall on the top. Why? Well, because it looks better than the shroom light. And then finally we're going to go around with some flower pots and some leaves just to give it a bit of colour up here. Lovely jubbly. That's the first layer complete. Time to add in the chests. All 600 of them. But layer by layer, we got it done. That's a lot of storage. But how many items can this thing hold? Well, let's do some quick math. Well, each chest holds 54 stacks of blocks, which equates to 3,456 blocks per chest. And we have 608 chests, so that's 2,101,248 items. Sounds like a clickbait title to me. But before we carry on with any more of this project, we need more materials. However, I don't want to gather them at the moment because I want to do something else. And that is add more farmland. At the moment, we've got a decent amount of crops going here. But when it comes to harvesting, they don't all produce the same amount. When you break a carrot, you obviously get up to 5 carrots, I think it is. However, every time you break a wheat, you only get 1 wheat. And to be honest, I'm using wheat the most to make mud bricks. So to help myself in the future, I'm going to add in another wheat farm. And I think we have the perfect location here. So let's put this abundance of cobblestone we have to good use by crafting some walls, some slabs, and some stairs, and also some grass to terraform this ugly hole we've got going on here. So let's terraform this a little bit, then place down some walls and some leaves to make a little edge, make an unlimited water source, and get spreading that water all around, as well as some hoeing as well, which took a long time. I then collected myself some seeds from my other wheat farm and got placing them down, and unfortunately we ran out, but we'll finish it off when the rest of it grows. I'm happy with this. It's really nice to have this bit of farmland in between on the link up to our other buildings. But let's get back to the dreaded interior, as there's still a lot we need to do. Let's start by gathering some materials. Oh, I do love this funky music that's playing. We got some birch, we got some moss, we got ourselves some calcite. It's a weird thing we do in Minecraft, isn't it? Where we just gather materials and then we replace them in a different place. Yeah, it looks prettier, but it's an endless cycle. When are you ever satisfied? Never. You always want to expand your world even more. I'm the same. I've never properly finished something, I don't think. I've always had like bits I would continue on doing if I could, but I just run out of time or just get bored. Anyway, this was quite a fun one to get. 4 spore blossoms, and we got all 4 shulker boxes of materials, and we're actually going to work from the top down in here, starting with the ceiling. And I think we're actually finally going to use the bamboo from the bamboo farm we made down here. How's this looking? Oh wow, that's a lot of bamboo. Anyway, we can use it to make some scaffolding. I can't go past all these areas without actually, you know, doing the stuff I should be doing all the time. Sorry for neglecting you, Neverwart Farm. One day we'll make some red nether bricks together. So like the walls down there, we're not going to have this as the ceiling. Instead, we're going to have it a layer down, and we're going to have some copper around the outside here with a mangrove trapdoor, and then we're going to make a lovely pattern around the outside with a pink terracotta, making sure we get the angle right like so, and use some pink concrete to fill in the middle. We're then going to surround this all with a layer of moss, and then we're using some more glazed terracotta, and then to surround it this time we're going to use some green concrete, and finally for the terracottas some white glazed terracotta. Ignore that scream. For the outside here, and then the final layer is the waxed, weathered, cut copper slabs, giving a bit of depth to it. Lovely. And let's knock all this scaffolding down for now, as we can look up and see what we've made. And my aim was to make it look like a flower. Let me know what you think. The next bit is going to be very boring. I'm going to have to add moss and rooted dirt and coarse dirt all the way up to the edges. This is going to be painful, and I don't want you to hear me swear, so time-lapse. Here's an interesting time-lapse of scaffolding going up and down. So although you've just seen a time-lapse, it looks like not much has changed, but it has, I promise. We've added an extra layer on. We've also had these streamlights with those spore blossoms on. Next up, it's time for the walls. And so far, we've used some pretty dark colors, so it's time to get some diorite, calcite, and birch. And we're going to do another stripy pattern like we did down below for some consistency. This time with diorite, then calcite, then birch. And then we're going to be using a mix of lime glazed terracotta, green glazed terracotta, and moss. Plus some streamlights to get some extra light in. So let's get placing some blocks. I found it best to do the bottom layer, then the top layer, and then meet them in the middle. Oh yes, a lovely bit of color in there. Now to do these bits underneath here. So I'm going to do a gradient of mud, then spruce, then dark oak, then spruce log, and then finally stripped dark oak. And for a bit of detail on the outside, some spruce fence and mangrove trapdoors. Working outside in, I had to eventually use some scaffolding. That's the main blocks all down. But now for some little extra details. Now, obviously, we have a big old tree sat on the top of this. It's big. It's a tree. But where are the roots? Well, that's what we're going to add in now. It's going to be awkward, but we don't need another little time lapse. So instead, we're going to zoom into my face and zoom out. And oh my gosh, tree roots falling down. Wow, lovely. I didn't want to cover up the flower in the center too much, so we just added a few on there. But as you can see, there's some tree roots falling down with some other things around like glowberries to add a bit of light. And we're almost ready to bring all our items in. But first, we need to work on this entrance, and also it's looking a bit sort of flat down here. I think we need to change this. So we're going to add a little pagoda in the middle here. And I've heard if you look into a crafting table and then look away again, and oh, look, a pergola has been made. That's nice, isn't it? So there you have it. The final design looking good. There's only one thing left to add, and that is the entrance. And I actually lied. There's two things to add. The blocks into the chests. And the way we're going to mark these chests is we're going to use these here. Oh, we've lost that. And put what block we're using down below. I normally like to use item frames, but if I place item frames in all these chests, the lag would be ridiculous. Anyway, let's finish the entrance. So we have to gather some different types of wood quickly. I've also smelted some more glazed terracotta. I also need to head to the nether to get some glowstone quickly. And then we can start placing down some blocks. Firstly, some stairs. Then our concrete powder in stripes. Then some moss on top of that. Then a layer of wood planks. Then oak stairs. And this is where the dark oak comes in with some stairs as well. Also our glazed terracotta. And the glowstone on top of the trapdoors for some light. And I can officially say the interior is done. I'm super happy with how this has turned out. It looks amazing, and it is so lovely just standing around in here. But now I have one of the most painful tasks in all of Minecraft. Move all my stuff from there into here. And also figure out where on earth it's gonna go. Let's see how many days this takes. Most likely I'm gonna spend the wonderful day 500 moving blocks. Oh, it's day 499. Let's sleep and bring in day 500. Do I feel any different? No. Am I sad that I'm moving dirt from chest to chest? Yes. That took way too long. Oh my gosh. But setting it up is the hardest part. Now it's all ready to go. We didn't fill up every single slot over here. We got to about this point, and there's loads still left available, as you can see. But they're all divided up into sections and neatly arranged. Oh, it took a while, but it is more than worth it. Now all we have to do is keep this organized. But I can already see a shulker box collection building up around here. But for now, all our shulker boxes are empty. Lovely. And now we have this all set up. This gives us the opportunity to build some good farms in the future. For now, though, this is the end of the video. I hope you liked this one. It's a slight different one to what we normally do. Let me know in those comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.